Hey, it's Chris again. Just thinking about siblings. And as parents, we're going to watch our children get older, and they're going to be like typical siblings. They're going to fight. They're going to grow together. They're going to grow apart. They're always going to love each other. But, there's going to be issues where they, fight and fuss and grow apart and grow back together. And as they get older, they may grow apart as their lives take them in their own directions. It's our job to kind of help keep them growing back together, even as they get older. You got the whole saying that, life's short and you never know what's going to happen. Well, that's true. I've got friends, family that have lost siblings very young. I'm pretty fortunate, with my siblings. I haven't always been close with my siblings. I'm the eldest. I have a different mother than they do. We live in different towns, and my little brother and I have gotten closer over, like the last 5 years. We've gotten pretty darn close, and it's a great thing. We had a trip planned with my dad, and my dad ended up sick, so he's not going this weekend. But he is encouraging us to still go on this trip, to still spend as much time together as we can, and we have every intention of doing it. We're gonna get together anyways, and there was a moment where I thought, my dad's not going, I'm only going for a night, maybe I'll stay home with my wife so she's not home alone. But I need this trip to bond with my brother, to continue bonding with my brother, and my dad's adamant about it. So not only am I going because I want to see my brother and I need to spend time with him, but I'm doing it because my dad doesn't ask much of me. He never does. I've talked about our past and me growing up. My dad, feels like he owes me, which he owes me nothing. He has been nothing but great by me. Granted, I didn't know him when I was a child as early as I should have, and that bothers him. It doesn't bother me, and he doesn't ask much of me, but this is one thing he is asking of me, and I'm all for it. I'm going to respect my dad, and it's a win-win for me. I get to spend time with my brother, going to be at a great cabin, so it's going to be a good weekend. But I feel the conviction, and I feel what my dad's getting at by insisting that I still go. Keeping that closeness. Him and his brother have recently found each other again. They've always known each other, but they weren't as close. They have different lifestyles. They see the world differently. Now that they're both, wiser. They're older and wiser. Let's put it that way. They're both older and wiser, and they both see that there is value to the way each one of them has lived their life. Value that they misunderstood for whatever reason. I've got my uncle lives up in the mountains. It's beautiful. No one around. My dad lives in the city. He's surrounded by people, and they have different lifestyles. It hasn't been until recently that they just completely found each other, and there's no judgment in how they're living their lives. They, embrace each other, and, they share everything from their past, and, they do the same thing with their sister. My dad laughs how he was a spoiled guy because he was the baby. But, I feel that conviction that it's really, really hitting home with them. And I think maybe it's because they have rounded the corner to, they're not in the beginning or the middle of their life anymore. They're past the middle. They're on the other side. I'm hoping that they're all around for, another decade or two at least, but that might not be a reality. And I can just sense the urgency that they feel that. Now, relating that back to parenting yourself, if you've got multiple kids, enforce the coming together, coming back together. You're not going to get them to see eye to eye, but don't sit in judgment of one's lifestyle over the other. I mean, unless it's just detrimental to their health and overall well-being. But don't sit in judgment. And if one sibling is, help them to understand. Help them to see, have that open mind that you raised them to have. We love people. We love family. Just because you disagree doesn't mean it's wrong. Let's see what we disagree on and why. Maybe it's just not for you. Doesn't mean it's wrong. That's with everything. That's work life. You may hire on at a job that you're just not suited for. That happens. You could be the nicest guy in the world, show up on time, never miss a day, but bottom line is you're just not meant for this job. You're not good at it. And the guy next to you is unlikable, but he's great at this job. You just never know. And that's life. There's reasons and fits for everyone. I'm really feeling the urgency that my dad is expressing without saying it that way about us staying connected and bonding even more. Stuff that we were 18 years overdue for a road trip, my brother and I, when we finally took one. That might not even be true. It might be way more than that. I'm 51 and Jason's 36-ish, somewhere in there. And we had never taken a road trip together until the pandemic, till COVID hit. And then we took a road trip to videotape everybody for my dad's birthday. And that's where we got the idea of getting together with my dad and taking the same trip. And like I said, one thing led to another, and it became just a trip to the cabin. And we're going to have to do that anyways, but right now, obviously, my dad's got COVID, and we'll cross that bridge another day. But still going to enjoy some time with my brother, and I encourage you, if you got siblings, blood or not, get with them. Tell them you love them. Enjoy your time with them. If you got kids that, the siblings aren't getting along, separate them for a minute. Help them appreciate each other. Help them understand why one acts like they do. Why one appreciates what they do. They're not going to listen to you right away, but they will hear you. You're their parent. Especially if your kids are grown. Teenagers, you can talk to your blue in the face. You're an observer during teenage years. But hopefully you've planted those seeds early and, nourish them when they're older. Teenage years, well, just hope for the best. But that's a lot. That's all I have today. I just keep thinking about the want of my dad. He doesn't ask anything of me ever, and this is one thing he asked of me, and he asked of my brother, and we were both on board. So as always, love your kids, hug them, love your siblings and your parents. Keep the circle going. Teach them, they teach you, kids teach you. Keep learning, keep loving. Have a good day.